recording is on. Good morning again.
Good
So
morning.
here we go again with Inger Arnes in Denmark from Norway.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Patricia on my right side, but probably for the viewers on the left side, but I don't know how it's all pointing in Zoom is always difficult. And Robert
Yeah.
van Rooten. And so you were just telling us about breathing the energy of the dragons this morning.
Yeah, I was just sitting here and having my own space, establishing my own space. I always do that in the morning. And I just really felt the fire dragons coming in.
Oh, wow.
And I was sitting here, kind of contemplating all the shifts that had taken place since the 21st.
Mm.
Yeah. And as that first shift has been a lot about shifting with the earth. The 21st had a lot. It wasn't that much on a personal level as it was about the earth.
Yeah.
Of course, it impacts us, but the main focus was sustaining the earth and lifting and changing her templates and her level of consciousness, so that we, for ourselves, also got available another reality, which is really bringing in. But as we know, when something takes place on the earth, we shift too.
Yeah, of course.
And for me personally, it happened on Christmas Eve.
Oh, right.
And the next day, where I just felt like huge amounts of energy coming to, so much that I really needed my space, and I had a long walk in nature to align to natural sources and telling my body it's still here, it's still alive, although everything around is changing. And I'm still in that change.
Inger,
It's like, and it just feels like you're standing still. Like you have a rubber band in your back, connected to your back, and you just want to go on, and suddenly the rubber band stops you. And it says, stay here. Stay here a few days more. Everything isn't integrated yet. It's still shifting.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've seen people refer to this as a sacred pause. Like we're standing here and we are making sure that we get transformed, everything that we have been working through.
For me to be clear, is that the Christmas day, that's the 25th?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, just to be sure, because different names and different languages for this Christmas day, so it's mixing me up.
Yeah, it is. So it was like that night, and that between the 24th and the 25th, where it really hit my body. And I also see that it hasn't been dramatically. And still there is like a wall in front of me where it's highlighted what have been my main issue throughout the times.
Yeah.
Which for me actually had a lot to do with the balance between the male and the female. And the way that has played itself out in all its variations. So it's like returning to the true me on an even deeper level. Who am I now? What do I want to express?
Okay.
What kind of relationships do I want in my life? And how do I want, there's a clarity within me that I only want relationships in my life that clearly reflects who I am. And at the same time, there is no rejection of anything else, because it's like you're embracing everything you have been and everything you will ever become. So there is no separation in the moving forward.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
This morning we had an experience, and Patricia was, you had something that you wanted to ask Inger. Is that still valid?
I was before we zoomed in, I was just trying to write down to give it more focus, but I didn't do it now yet. But this morning I had the same questions you had, or not questions, thoughts of what are relationships with people, what is the shift, how do they reach in my life now, what is worth it, what not. So everything is changing. So we start focusing together on it, and you give me some new codes. And then I felt I was at the port, the gate of the reincarnations. And on that point, I felt my soul was standing in light to get rid of all karma. Because there is no yesterday, there's no tomorrow, there's just now, there's no time, it's just energy.
So that's.
I really relate to that.
And the codes,
For me,
the codes I can't repeat them, but I can give it a try because I can feel something coming up, and it's it was like sure majai do noma koi shi washtimu rai shua shumba
again, I feel this deep, deep connection to more of me, more of me that is kind of too expanded or too high vibrating to really get into the body, but still it kind of shines through, overshadowing me in a way. And it's like it's sending down this spiral through me, and it hits the ground, the matrix, and it spins out circles and circles and circles. And while it does so, it shows me what you are, Patricia, are experiencing, like that we are bringing down our trueness. It shines out from our inside and out, and then it brings back our true reflection. So wherever we are in our vibration, that is what we will experience when it comes to relationship, and our relationship not only to humans, but to our environment, to everything that exists around us. And it, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. For me, it was that when it was it's like Robert delivered sequence A and you popped in with the B. I wonder if I got to see them, but
Probably.
Yeah.
I felt it was like, first of all, I got this cosmic mother holding the humanness in us. Also us as a cosmic mother holding our humanness, doing like this, taking care of it. Is it rocking it? Is it as a baby that you want to calm down? And suddenly the humanness surrender. And then it kind of births a bigger part of you that expands through you, an incredible bright one, but it was kind of breathed in. Your breath kind of brought it through. It was like a cosmic wind that was breathed through, and it also came down and it anchored completely into the matrix, so that and it's interesting because I see clearly it's like a cartoon. You got, you get the lines around it, but it's like white inside, it's white outside, but it is the drawing around that makes up the shape. So it's like there's been delivered something for you to fill in. What colors do you want to put in there? What do you want to draw or color inside that new being of yours? Right now it's like blank canvas. Here you go, a potential. What do you want to create? I'm going to bring in the fire dragons because they really want to clear the space around all these energies, so that, because all what you have brought through have kind of also, it always brings up something to be released and transmuted. So let's see. Patua, patuai, patua, patuai, patua, patuai, patua, patuai, akia manakatea nano, akia manakatia katoyo mene ketia, akio konesha. It's also almost like it's showing me that as we are going to pass into 2021, it's like we have to pass through a wall of fire. In order to get into that 2021 we have chosen to enter. It's like in front of us, it's like there's two 2021. Two realities for us to enter. And I feel that is also one of the reasons why these energies are brought in. And it's like also why I feel we are kind of being, or at least I refer to myself, being held here, clear as much as you can, because it's imperative. What energy you enter 2021 on is like hugely imperative, very, very important. It feels like one of them is where you can stand and expand into bliss, and the other one is like almost a downward spiral that can really draw you into a density that there is kind of, when you enter it and it starts to pull you, there is like the entrance to another big circle in the lower density level field. And the other one is like an expanding one. So, and there's a quickening. It's like everything is going to speed up. So we have to be very clear within on what we are choosing. Yeah,
I think the purity is something the both of us are working on since our energetic marriage. And we feel that being really honest to ourselves and to each other helps to be pure in the outer world, and that helps being in that higher state. And when you are in that higher state, all beautiful presents are coming towards us, and it's almost like direct. You said two timelines or two dimensions. It's almost like every time you make a choice between the being pure or not pure enough, being directly pure. If sometimes it's not directly possible, but it helps to be as direct as possible for yourself. So even if you mention there's something here. I want to come back to that later, but I need to say that there's something here on which I want to come back. Even that purity also is helping at the moment. So with your image you draw for the choices we have, it's like the climax of all this 2020 age. So that's now it's up or under, literally.
Yeah.
And so for us, purity is in communication is the best present we gave ourselves. And it's really helping. It's really helping to, especially when you talked about karma, and that space without karma. Getting there is only possible if you communicate about everything. Even if you assume the other understands something, you have to talk about it. So is it really clear to you that I'm imagining this, so that you understand it at the same level? In that sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't feel the shift you mentioned in there. I just feel that we are on the right track.
Oh yeah.
It's just that.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're aligned to that vibration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you never can be in the wrong track.
No. And if I listen to you, and for me, it felt there was a bit afraid, fear under it.
That's the collective.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the collective. There is a collective fear. There is a huge collective disturbance within this.
Shall I clear some of that fear?
Yeah.
What?
Shall I clear a bit of that collective fear?
Yeah.
Guys,
that's
by
yes.
Sorry. Guys, no by Shira Murda you senior guy no senior rise rule. She was Jesus
I love that. It gave me a very image of when you have this pan on the when you're boiling water, and it's bubbling, and you just pull it off, and it stops bubbling, and it calms down. It felt like that, like there was a calming down or something that was really bubbling, and that didn't need to, because the right temperature was already reached, you know, and it kind of almost like a beautiful blanket that was laid over to calm down. Yeah, because it's interesting when you mentioned that of fear, Patrice, because up here I work a lot with a collective, looking at things at a very large scale, and I've seen how we are entering trigger number 3 when it comes to fear level. First we got COVID, then we got the mask and the regulations, and now we get the vaccines. So and everybody got the vaccine. Most countries in this area got the vaccine during these days and started vaccinating people. And that have brought up collectively a huge fear level, which again has the possibility to draw people into that spiral. Yeah. And it's not a coincidence that all of this is taking place. That's why the awareness of the choices are coming up in a lot of people. And it's also interesting when you talked about the trueness and being honest and speaking your truth, because that is also something I have experienced the last weeks, how you can communicate something from your heart and people hear something completely different.
Yeah.
And how difficult it many times have been to express something in a way that other people really can hear what you say. And you can't, yeah.
I have the same experience.
Yeah.
If I just speak from the heart to someone else, they get scared, but they try to, or they mention their fears immediately.
Yeah.
And then I just say, put your hand on your heart.
Yeah.
And I'm not attacking you. Don't listen to that part. That is old shit. It's not necessary anymore. This is what I'm telling. And that works for the moment. I don't know how they are now. I have to check them.
Yeah.
But for that point, we don't get involved in the old pain, but we can just put that moment in the light.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I feel that every time I talk straight from the heart, the air around me is getting thinner and thinner, more clear.
Yeah. And it's so important that you do that, or that we do that, really speak our truth from our heart, because there's been a fear within most of us when it has to do with really revealing who we are, really showing up as we are, because of everything that have taken place in our pasts.
Yeah.
And when we now can stand in our truth and show, you can shine your true light. You can be the true you, right? And look what happens. No one is killing you.
Yeah.
And you start radiating that trueness into the collective that helps shift the pattern.
Yeah.
What is safe and what is unsafe. And suddenly we can flip over, and it can be safe to be true and unsafe to not be true, so that you get the opposites at stake.
Yeah. It's interesting. Huh?
Yeah. But the last few days, I just switched from, I get stuck in what's coming on to me, and then just try to get the focus back to clearness from what is really happening, and then it's over again. So I feel a lot of attacks all the time to make the shift real. But it's also like I call it like a dark octopus with tentacles, and it sneaks in like a dark air, dark clouds. And if I don't watch it, it's there again. So it's all the time. It's just get back to the focus where we are. How can we get it out? So it's a really shift. It's also a shift inside to get used to the new energy.
That's a good description, yeah. That's how it is. And I like the octopus because that's how it is. It's like it have tentacles all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she describes it like a dark air, like a dark mist. It's almost,
yeah, it looks like that. Yeah.
Almost transparent. You don't see it if you don't watch for it. If you are honest and open and authentic, then you can see it, and then you can work on it, and then it will go away. But it still has a lot of tentacles. So every time if your mind only says, "Okay, it's gone," then probably there will be another tentacle sitting there like this.
Yeah. And you need to communicate about it because it shows itself only after you put it out. And if you just have it inside yourself, you're not aware that it's there. So you need to find people around you where you can share your deepest feelings to and open up.
Yeah.
And that's I think the shift you talk about to get focus to the people that's really connected with you, and to step out of the contacts that just cost you energy.
It's also interesting. You mentioned growth.
Yeah.
And for me, the throat chakra and the pure expression of our sound is one of the best indications about clearing, because we know that everything is a vibration.
Yeah.
When you got the vibration out through your voice and express it, it's like there's a bigger freedom that are being gained, because it's like what they call the neck of the bottle or whatever. It's like here, and when you finally can allow yourself to fully express and allow that expression, you know.
Can I do something on that? Yeah.
Ashminia ke toike ke timinia kakatana na ya e koia kota tono na mi ia kata toso no kota ia to yo mene ia kaka toso ne ya ka ako kotia tini mini ako ke to yo ke tini mi kata ya That's beautiful breaking of structures. Absolutely amazing. I love that.
Well done.
Yeah. I felt like when you brought in that energy, it was like you can see, you know, when I see into bodies, I see the structures. They turn out like black lines. And that sound I kind of went in and broke them. Broke structures and transformed them, and then they was kind of grounded and expanded, and the entire area becomes seeded anew with potential in a way that it stays clear, it stays open, it stays free, and the potential are only a gift. It's like you get a Christmas gift, is wrapped. Do you want to open it, or do you want to wait until later? Yeah. Sooner or later, it will sprout, but it's seeded.
You said it wasn't done?
No, it wasn't done. So I just did in the background some more.
Yeah.
Is it done now?
Yeah, for now it's wrapped in paper. No, it's wrapped. Yeah.
I mean, after all, we're in Christmas time still.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but it felt tear. There were a lot of tear me up.
Yeah.
Like a party. And
yeah, absolutely. There is
we were dancing and celebrating.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a celebration.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, my kai kashuko hostar moishia nyo koin mine no in no kui don bosto no
I immediately felt it went to my crown chakra, and it was spinning and expanding it, and it went down to my third eye and spinning and aligning those two, and then it opened up widely, and a huge light came in, and then the spiral went down to my heart, and it couldn't get any deeper yet, as the body needs to integrate those frequency before the rest of the body kind of the cells really pick up on that vibration. But it feels like it's singing through my body, and it was like an access to they say even more than the love and the joy, that is your true expression. And as that trueness and the love and expression is allowed to radiate, it will reflect back to you more of who you truly are. You are your own mirror. The world is not anymore. Your reality, what you create around you, is your true mirror. The outer world is not anymore. And as you continue bringing in and aligning and integrating these energies, the resonance field with those who align with that energy within you will grow even bigger. And on that resonance field, you will kind of be like sparks of light that are shining together, creating a bigger light. The energy goes in waves, and through those waves, you manifest, and you bring in new ideas, and you manifest, and the entire concept becomes of how much can I create? What can I create? How can we share this creation? And the energy and the platform everything is created from is this. So this will only be creations of love and joy. Interesting. And it's like the stars are getting closer. The stars are coming closer to our energy field or bodies. It's like they are the tube of light they are bringing in is getting widened, and it's like when we look up to the sky, it's like we will see our true self instead of stars that are separated from us on the sky. There is a closeness and there is a knowingness that will be recognized. We are the stars. Kia toto no ko toto ko I ke dia ka na mana ako toto toto no mene ia ka tata so toto ya mana ako toto shana.
What I feel is that there's something needed for the collective, and that's to bring the energy from above to Earth now and anchor it here.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, from here to top, just backwards. Can you do something about it? Yeah.
So you mean this energy?
Yeah, because now it's from above.
And now we're going upwards.
Yeah, to anchor it, so people who are open get it too.
First of all, I felt that it went into my DNA. The other thing was that my third eye started to spin outside my forehead. And there was a huge spiral again that was reaching very far out, and it was kind of filled with new, not only information, but like imprints that my brain can use to translate energy, so that when I look into my living room, I would see more. It was like the layers of separation that was between dimensions disappeared. And it felt like the separation between my crown and my third eye, it was gone. And it didn't, but definitely a lot of shift and changes in the way we experience reality, which again I feel is extremely useful. Because if we continue to look at reality the way we have, we won't go anywhere. We have to surrender and dare to let go. Yeah. Even though we might find ourselves between heaven and earth, floating in the sky with nothing up and nothing beneath our feet, anything. No matter what, we have to let go and surrender and fall into that space, that center, that essence that is truly us. And then this will kind of sustain us in seeing anew. So I felt like there was a huge, I've always seen that, like in this area, there's a kind of geometry in my energy field. Yeah. When the light comes in and shines through it, it gives my humanness a picture of reality. When that changed, my reality changed. It was like everything that had to do with my reality so far kind of was removed. And there was just this huge opening that I allowed. And right now I can't really see the pattern that was there earlier.
I felt the frequency is now down to earth. Mm-hmm. As a wave that we can touch.
Yeah.
It's low. Yeah. So it's not there. It's like we're grounded.
It's like there is no here and there anymore. Yeah.
So mission completed.
Yay!
You asked.
Yeah, I deliver. What's next? Yeah.
It was for me. It was quite an intense frequency to bring. It was like outside of me, not inside of me, which was interesting because it was like in front of me, moving upwards. Yeah. So, no.
But did you feel it changed something within you, like a
Oh yeah,
surrender.
because I was still sitting here like, am I here? When you were starting talking already, I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
and still it is still shifting in my field.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
still working. It's like a spiral moving around me, and it's like the explanation you gave was really interesting because I wasn't aware of the geometric. It's like a
Yeah.
pyramid of plexiglass glass
Yeah.
where the light comes through and then it gives different pictures in the mind I'd like to describe. But now I can see that the pyramid and I can see that it is turned. So we first had a certain side and now we have a different side in front of us. So the light comes through in a different angle. So yeah, it was a nice way of explaining that. Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah.
I still have the sensation of that spiral. It's like when you have the spiral up here and you have the center, like here, outside.
Yeah.
It's like the center is still there, but the lower rings of the spiral becomes bigger and bigger, and now they are have moved through my entire body. So my entire body is in that spiral. It's like the lines up there are minor rooms between the lines and bigger rooms between the lines.
Yeah.
The lower part, and it feels like there's no separation within it. My body feels like one clear spot. It's like there's no differentiations between anything. It's just clear energy. And it feels absolutely soothing.
And how does it relate to the to the beginning of this broadcast that we were talking about the balancing of male and female energy? How does it relate to this?
Yeah, absolutely.
But how does it feel for you? Is it different now if you look at that topic? Yeah.
It's like it doesn't feel like separating things into this and that. Like, what a weird concept. It just feels like that. How can you do that?
Old.
Oh, very, very old. And still it just had to come true because that's what I've been working with for so many lifetimes. And you just, at the end, you just look at it and say, okay, am I really balanced on this level? Is there anything more within me that I need to take a look at?
Yeah, beautiful.
So thank you.
Yeah. Thank all of us. Yeah. We do it together. So
we do it together. Yeah.
And how did the dragon energy is relating to this? How is the dragon energy relating to this?
I think the dragons are the ones who give permission for us to step through a frequency band, and because if we can't go through with full integrity, we're not allowed. So they are kind of guardians, and I think also that's why I had a need to bring to I was shown to bring to the fire and the dragon, just to burn away anything that could, as much as possible, that could hinder.
Yeah.
Both us as on a personal level, but also us as a humanity. Because one thing is that we are stepping through this as personal beings, but this is also a collective shift.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and our part that is part of the collective has to be radiating and shining as much trueness as possible.
Yeah.
Because that's the impact we can have on the collective shift. It's like a puzzle. Your piece needs to be so clear that it can shine and brighten up everything, and have like this domino effect on the rest of the pieces. We can't change anything outside of us, only us.
Yeah.
And that's a huge responsibility because we are huge.
Enormous.
Yeah.
Very powerful. And
Yeah.
getting that.
No, did I mention that? I've had this thing happening to me the last weeks, probably a month, where I can stand in front of people and speak to them and suddenly they shrink. Yeah.
You told last time.
So weird.
Yeah.
And I still have it and it continues. And it's like, yeah, really are an experience.
They become big again also, or not? But that's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting.
And then can you distinguish what's happening, why somebody's getting small and somebody stays? Is that already getting clear to you?
It's the shift in vibration between us.
Yeah.
When you can't hold on to the complete harmonious vibration, then it can start to differentiate. Yeah. And you start to see, and then when the difference gets very big, it's like suddenly you look at each other from two different dimensions, or the end of one dimension and the other end of the other.
Yeah.
And then the distance is huge, and then you can get that glimpses back and forth. My God showed me actually way back in time, and that was quite interesting. I have had an accident with my feet, so I've gotten some tablets for pain and inflammation and whatever. It was back in the late 80s, I think. And I had to take the tablets simply because my pain was unbearable. And as I did, after I did that, I was laying in bed and I was meditating, and one of my guides came through they come visual also, and through my feelings. And suddenly, as I saw him, his beautiful face and body, it was distorted. And instead, I saw like a demon. And I was so afraid. I was crying out, what the heck is this? And you are fooling me, and blah, 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 you know. And then immediately, one of the ascended masters stood on the floor and he said, no, what you experience was the shift between the dimensions. When you are being lifted to high, or are moving yourself up to high dimensions in order to align with that, and you are not capable of holding that vibration steady, and you were not, because the effect of the tablets made your energy level unstable.
Yeah.
And so there was a twist where you slipped down. In the slipping between two dimensions, the distortions comes in. So they also saw me much of what people say, oh, I met a demon dressed up like a light. And suddenly that demon showed me that light being, suddenly I saw his true face and he was a demon. That is not always having to do with light being dressed up as a demon, or a demon being dressed up as a light being, but because the one who is having the experience are not capable of holding their frequency high enough to fully benefit and get what that dimension brought you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because how I do it is just ask to the demon or to the light to show the real face. So show me your real face, and then you ontmantelen.
Yeah, discard.
Discard. If it's light or dark demon. That's interesting how you wave the medicine and frequencies.
I later asked in what kind of the medication did create that, and they said it diminished the cell's capacity to bring in oxygen.
Yeah. Medicine is not as good as they say.
No, not always. That is one of the things that it's not always, but it can be one of the explanations.
Yeah.
Why? And that's also why I've always been encouraging to claim my right to see true what is taking place, if it seems distorted, to see what is really taking place.
Yeah.
And then you can,
Interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Could be a nice topic for next week to talk about how the light and the demons and everything is working.
Yeah.
Because this is a topic on itself, I think. And but still interesting as well that you still see people get small. It must be a really funny world at the moment for you.
Well, no matter what, if you just focus on staying here and holding that and being true, as you so beautifully said, and speaking your truth, I think communication really will be an issue.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it really works. And that's a good thing. It's direct result and that direct bliss and their direct presence, and it's all just at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we let this be for this week?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's enough.
Yeah.
A lot of things are said. And
The circle is round. Yeah.
Circle around.
Yeah.
So everybody who's watching, please subscribe to YouTube channel and look at Facebook for Patricia. Next time I will put Patricia Taylor, her name also on in the screen. Sorry for that. And of course, look at Inger's timeline of Facebook, because there's a lot of more information. If you are in a problem situation, you can always contact one of us. We try to help, and we will be next week again there. So.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Okay.